Salam alaikum. Good morning. My name's Ian Purser. I'm the Director of Architecture at PACE and the lead for Kuwait chapter of RIBA Gulf. I'll be your host this morning. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our sponsors, the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences, Royal Institute of British Architects, the United Kingdom Department of International Trade, Kuwait University College of Architecture, PACE, and the Gulf chapter of the Royal Institute of British Architects, it's an honour and a privilege to welcome so many of you here today to this symposium exploring the impact of architecture and technology and on the built environment and on the happiness of our cities. This symposium has brought together some of the best cultural, creative and technical minds from the UK, the Gulf and the wider industry to explore the issue of how our built environments can be better designed from cultural, technical and creative perspectives. Like many cities in this region, Kuwait City is undergoing fast-paced redevelopment. Using the fundamental changes this makes to our quality of life as a reference, today's panel discussions and workshops will debate how best to support the well-being of our cities and the happiness of the people who live in them, work in them, and visit them. It's up to us as a society, and as urban design professionals specifically, to educate and design cities and places for people by prioritising the social, economic, and environmentally sustainable wellness of all members of society. We just have to decide who our cities are for, and we have to believe that they can change. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have a packed schedule of panel discussions and workshops throughout the morning and the afternoon in this hall, and also in the workshop rooms immediately upstairs, culminating at 2:30 with a conversation between the architect and commentator Peter Murray of New London Architecture and our keynote speaker Renier de Graaf, partner at the Office for Metropolitan Architecture, better known as OMA. I'd like to say a huge thank you to our speakers and moderators, to the organising committee and our helpers, and to you, our delegates, for joining us today. Please do get involved in the debates that will, I'm sure, offer an inspiring insight on the subject. And also, don't forget to tag us with the hashtag happiness in the city if you're posting on Instagram or Twitter during the day. So without any further ado, it's my pleasure now to introduce the first of our speakers, Dr. Adnan Shihab Eldin, Director General of the Kuwait Foundation for the Advancement of Sciences. Dr. Adnan has held several leadership positions at international institutions, including Acting Secretary General of OPEC and Director positions at the IAEA and UNESCO. He's also served as Director General of the Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research and the Vice Rector for Academic Affairs at Kuwait University. He's a board member of several public and private organisations, companies and foundations, and has been extensively published in the fields of energy, nuclear science and socio-economic development. Dr. Shihab Eldin received his BSc, MSc and PhD degrees from the University of California, Berkeley, and has won several awards for his work, including the 2017 Elise and Walter A. Haas International Award. Please welcome Dr. Adnan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning. Your Excellency, Ambassador Davenport of the United Kingdom, esteemed partners from the UK Department of International Trade, the Royal Institute of British Architects, RIBA, other partners from Kuwait University, from PACE, distinguished guests and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you and to thank you for joining us at this Happiness in the City Redesigning Urban Environments Symposium. A special welcome to those guests and speakers from outside of Kuwait. We wish you a very pleasant stay in Kuwait, and hopefully you will take some time out and enjoy the turning nice weather of Kuwait. Many of you know that Kuwait from now on, it will turn into a gorgeous weather in contrast to the weather that was developing not so nicely in Europe. So I hope you will contact the organizers and try to enjoy some of what Kuwait offers in cultural and touristic attractions. I'm certain that we all agree that the theme of the symposium is one that is close to our hearts all, as ensuring that our cities are designed effectively is of most importance, where focus is increasing the quality of life and ensuring the welfare of the environment, people, and the country is upheld. Should these considerations, discussions, and actions not be had, the repercussions would be significant, impacting not only the lives, our lives, but the lives of future generations. And I trust we all are here today to ensure that we play our role in the sustainability of our individual community and as well as the global ecosystem for now and the future. And most of you know that for the past 40 years plus, the foundation has been on a journey to harness science, technology, and innovations in Kuwait to catalyze their applications as well as to promote modernization, a better quality of life, and a sustainable future for the Kuwaiti people. In line with the long-term vision of the late Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Jabir al-Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah, and supported by the leaders of the private sector, an Emiri decree was issued in 1976, establishing the foundation with a focus on advancing and integrating science, technology, and innovation throughout the country and throughout the society. And today, KFAS proudly continues to be supported by the generous contributions of the shareholding companies of Kuwait and by the leadership of the country, the leadership and guidance of His Highness the Emir of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah al-Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah, the chairman of the board of directors of KFAS. And I'm sure all of Kuwait is anxiously waiting to welcome his return to the homeland very soon. Today, KFAS impact is prominently embedded within the country's scientific, technological accomplishments and advancements. Under the current KFAS strategy, the Foundation has renewed its commitment to play a leading catalytic role in supporting the national efforts to transform the country from a rentier state to a state knowledge-driven economy, with a knowledge-driven economy, as well as serving the national goals envisioned by the Kuwait 2035 strategic plan. Thus, KFAS main strategic thrust areas are focused on ensuring that science, technology, and innovation, as we call them STI, play a vital role within every aspect of the country, including research community, the private and public sectors, as well as non-governmental organizations. And in order to achieve its vision, the Foundation continues to fulfill its mission by investing and providing support to research, human capital development, and deployment of new and innovative technologies that provide solutions to challenging national priorities. This includes establishing and funding specialized centers of excellence as the subsidiaries of the Foundation to address national challenges such as the Sman Diabetes Center or the Kuwait Scientific Center. As key part of the Foundation's strategic plan is dedicated to supporting collaboration and partnership with international centers of excellence. We are thus excited about the collaboration with the Royal Institute, RIBA, as we feel that the objective of the organization and those of KFAS, especially in relation to promoting sustainable and healthy built environment, are very much aligned. Our initial meeting with RIBA, along with the UK Department of International Trade, our other international partner, focused on developing collaborative efforts to inspire youth and encourage partnership and creative thinking to enhance our living environment. We jointly determined that a symposium would be an ideal platform for this collaboration, with a theme that focuses on building happy and sustainable built environment, which resonates with all of us. During a TED Talk in Vancouver, Charles Montgomery stated that a happy city is a social city. He meant that the more we can bring people together to interact, the happier the city will be. And this brings me to the observation that for decades we have neglected here in Kuwait and other parts of the world happiness as a main goal of urban planning. And for too long have adopted policies that have encouraged urban sprawl, the dominance of the private automobile as the only means of transportation, in particular here in our country, has led to an urban fabric designed for cars, and this is also in Europe, and not for people. And things are beginning to change. This has led to the loss of public realm, which had given citizens in the past an emotional and social infrastructure within their communities. People have begun to retreat into the comfort of their private space. Kuwait's neighborhoods were once intertwined with the fabric of society, where people were brought together in public spaces. This interactivity and connectivity allowed for a greater sense of community and shared ownership of public space. Narrow streets and shared walls allowed for natural shading while maintaining privacy. We had already solved in Kuwait, long ago, social and architectural problems in urban fabrics of pre-oil Kuwait. In our rush to modernize, we had forgotten this urban legacy. Looking towards the future, we must carry with us the lessons from our past to build more sustainable, healthy, and happy cities that are designed for humans, not cars. We have resources and ingenuity to reshape our cities. In order to reclaim public realm, we have to question the decisions that have led us to this path in the past, and to identify the strategies that can lead us toward a sustainable future driven by human happiness. I'm glad to share with you on this side that KFAS is investing in a feasibility study of how to encourage the use of bicycles in Kuwait along the Gulf Road, and this would be led by the Kuwait Scientific Center. And Mr. Samir Shade is the chairman of that center, sitting next to in the front row. So I believe it's ideas like this that are bold, because many people told me, bicycles in Kuwait? What about the heat? And I said, bicycles in Amsterdam? What about the rain? I mean, you go to Amsterdam and bicycles are on top of each other, and they use them. Sunshine, heat, cold, snow, water. So I believe that every good idea needs to be explored, and we are exploring it. The essence of this symposium is to assess and address various topics surrounding the concept of happy cities, answering questions such as, how do we design cities and places in the way that values everyone's experience? How can our city make us stronger, more resilient, more connected, more active and freer? What makes a happy city? How do we define and plan for a sustainable, happy environment? What resources and collaterals are required to ensure the well-being of happiness? We look forward to hearing from our guest speakers on this and from the panelists who are leading experts in their field. and we will share their valuable insights, ideas, and experiences on pertinent, important technical and creative and cultural topics. What I look forward to most is hearing the viewpoints of all of the participants here today, who are from government institutions, ministries, consultants, universities, students, contractors, and the general public, but especially the youth. I trust that at the end of the symposium, we have all been able to gain more insights into the potential solutions of these issues, including gaining a better understanding and strategies needed to build more effective and happier cities. Ultimately, I hope that we continue to make commitment of working together to drive and foster change, not only because it impacts us, but more importantly, because there is a future generation that's relying on us to build a better tomorrow. Before I close, I must thank one more time our partners, all of our partners, from the United Kingdom, from Kuwait, from other parts of the world. I must thank the organizing committee and the organizers for putting together such a brilliant symposium, and wish you a very successful symposium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Adnan, for welcoming us here today and for KFAS' generous support with the event. I'm now going to introduce the second of our VIP speakers this morning. His Excellency Mr. Michael Davenport, MBE, is the British Ambassador to the State of Kuwait, having presented his ambassadorial credentials to His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jabbar Al-Sabah, in October 2017. Immediately before his appointment, he served as the British Ambassador and then the Ambassador of the European Union to Serbia. He previously served as Deputy British Ambassador to Egypt and as a British Consul General in Poland. He's also a solicitor of the Supreme Court of England and Wales. Michael is an adept user of Instagram and Twitter. In addition to Arabic, Michael is fluent in French, German, Serbian, Polish, Russian, and Italian. So hopefully we'll be posting and tweeting about this symposium using the hashtag Happiness in the City in at least 8 languages. Please welcome the British Ambassador, His Excellency Michael Davenport, to the stage.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ian, for the introductory words. I have to say that the last couple of sentences were not part of the script that I supplied to him. Thank you, in particular, Dr. Adnan, for your stirring and inspiring words and the very important messages which you put across to start the proceedings today. I think you set a wonderfully positive tone. Ladies and gentlemen, this symposium has grown out of increasingly frequent and dynamic contacts between the British architectural profession, the British Embassy here in Kuwait, and our wonderful partners in Kuwait. I was delighted that the Royal Institute of British Architects, RIBA, chose to bring the annual President's Medal exhibition back to Kuwait in 2018. That exhibition was such a success that everybody wanted to know when the President himself would be visiting Kuwait. At the end of last year, we were equally delighted to welcome Ben Derbyshire in Kuwait, now RIBA's outgoing president, for what turned out to be, I think, a milestone visit to Kuwait in terms of the contacts forged and the plans laid. And earlier this year, thanks once again to Sheikh Hussein Sabah, the Americani hosted the President's Medal exhibition, now for the 3rd time. But today's landmark symposium would not be possible without the support of a few quite remarkable people. First, I would like once again to thank Dr. Adnan Shihabuddin, Director General of KFAS, and his team, especially Kaiser Reis, Afzal Khan, and Mashal al-Sabah, true to KFAS's mission of promoting a thriving culture of science, technology, and innovation for a sustainable Kuwait. Your support for this project and your encouragement have been of crucial importance. Second, I would like to thank Dr. Omar Khattab, Dr. Mail Ansari, and Dr. Asil El-Ragam and other colleagues at Kuwait University's Faculty of Architecture, and especially Dr. Rua El-Shaheen, for you have brought both intellectual rigour and creative energy to our joint endeavours. Third, I should pay tribute to the whole RIBA team. I mentioned Ben Derbyshire, but also to Alan Vallance, welcome sir, RIBA CEO, Chris Williamson and Joe Bacon, outgoing and incoming vice presidents respectively, and indeed also our very own Ian Purser, RIBA's representative for our RIBA chapter in Kuwait, who has been working so hard to foster ever closer Kuwaiti-British ties in this field, but also the support of Emma, Aslina, Nan, and also Paul from PACE. Fourth, I should like also to acknowledge the contribution of my own colleagues at the British Embassy, especially our team from the Department for International Trade, Shikha Tiwari and Siraj Hatim. Architecture and design have always been crucial to the way we live our lives, especially in the modern era, where the majority of us spend the bulk of our time either inside buildings, as homes, places of work, or study, or indeed recuperation, or around buildings in our cities, towns, and villages. What appears to be rather new, however, is a much broader realization in recent years of the extent of